Hi everyone, welcome. Coach Morris here. Today I'm going to walk you through a short session for beginners, Pilates beginners. If you've never done Pilates before, or if it's your first few times, or if you just want to strengthen your core, this is a great place to start. So all you need is a mat. We're not going to use any props, and maybe a small towel. You might need it later on as we progress for some modifications. So here we go, starting on our back. Slowly on your back. And let's just start with a few deep breaths in and out. So place one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. You can close your eyes and just take a moment here, breathing deeply in and out. Inhale through your nose, allowing your belly and chest to expand. And then exhale, just relax and release. Don't hold anything. Try not to think about anything. Just bring yourself to here and now. Find your own rhythm of breath. Deep inhalation. Pushing the air out through the mouth, pursed lips. We want to take 2/3 of the breath into the belly. Only 1/3 goes to your chest. And with each exhalation, feel your body getting looser, heavier, down into the ground. And from here, we're going to move on to our pelvic tilt. So go ahead and bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. And you want to place your hands on your hip bones. Now, still breathing deeply in and out. As we inhale, you want to tilt your pelvis forward, increasing that lumbar curve. And as we exhale, we tilt the pelvis backwards, flattening the lower back onto the mat, eliminating that lumbar curve. Keep rocking the pelvis gently back and forth. You don't want to force it. Very gentle. Draw the belly button in, inviting your pelvis, the pubic bone, to pull up. Tailbone curling up towards the knees. Try to keep your hamstrings and glutes relaxed. So you're not pushing, pressing into the feet, into the ground with the legs. Now, same pelvic tilt. Go ahead and place one leg up in tabletop. So you want the knee right over your hip and your shin is parallel to the floor. Place your hand in front of the thigh. And as you tilt your pelvis backwards, make sure that the knee is not getting closer to your chest. So you're almost like pressing the leg away from you. And this is where you're going to start feeling your core activation a little bit. Exhale. And release. Breathe out. Let's do the same thing with the other leg. Go ahead. Exhale, curl the tailbone under. Make sure the other foot is very light on the floor so you're not pressing again into the leg, but rather try to really engage, bring it from using the core muscles, hollowing the abdominals in. One more. And relax. All right, now we're going to do the same thing, both legs up in tabletop. So this is the progression of this one. If you find the next one too challenging, you can always go back to doing one leg at a time. So go ahead, find a nice tabletop position. Your knees should be over your hips and your shins parallel to the floor. Now, sometimes for beginners, just by holding your legs here, you can already feel your core muscles are trembling, working. So if that's a challenge, again, do one leg at a time. Go ahead and tilt your pelvis backwards, flattening the lower back. You want to reach your knees, thighs, aiming them up towards the ceiling. And up. So this is a very simple and effective exercise to really recruit the lower abs. The lower part of the abs, what often we find very challenging to recruit, to work. Breathe. Four more. All right, and relax, hug your knees. Take a moment here. The next one is with the legs, instead of being in tabletop, up to the ceiling. Bring the arms down along the body now, and reach your legs up. And just fix my pants here, and go. It's a small movement. Again, you want to aim your legs up and not going back and over. Just think about taking your sacrum bone off the floor. Think about it. You want to poke the ceiling with your big toes up. Keeping your neck, shoulders relaxed as much as possible. Five more. Three. Whew. And relax. Hug your knees in. Take a moment. And moving on to our next one, which is the knee fold. So from tabletop again, arms along the body. We're going to lower down one leg, tap on the floor, and then switch. You can also put your hands here, down here on your lower abdominals, just so you can feel your pelvis is in place. So it's slightly in a tucked under position, just a little bit. Now for the more beginners, if this is too challenging, if you're starting to feel the lower back taking over, you want to put one foot on the floor and just do it with one leg at a time. And do about 8 to each leg. If you're good with both legs, that's the progression. Once you're feeling your core muscles strong enough, go ahead. Keep the belly button in. That's a challenging one. Relax your shoulders, neck. Let's do 8 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Feeling those core? I bet you do by now. All right, next one is, we're gonna do a variation, the more beginner variation, and then we're gonna progress it to the more advanced, the dead bug exercise. So one leg is up in tabletop, the other one on the floor, and the opposite arm is up to the ceiling. We're gonna reach the opposite arm and leg out, lengthening out, and back into the starting point. Again, reaching out, out, out. Hold your belly button in. Exhale, exhale when you return. Out, out, out. You're gonna inhale before you open, and then you hold everything nice and tight. Exhale to return. One more. Other side. Switch. And go. So you inhale, you draw the belly button in, you kind of hold your breath here, and then exhale to return. So lengthen out, feel like someone is pulling you out from the arm and the leg, and in. One more. All right, now it's time for both arms and legs. That's the progression of it. So arms up, right over your shoulders. Pull your shoulders down away from the ears, legs up in tabletop. Don't bring them into your chest. And here we go. It takes a little bit coordination. We're gonna alternate the sides. So opposite arm and leg, lengthening out. And back in. Other side, reaching out. Keep going. Belly button in. Hollowing the abdominal. So you don't want to let the belly push out. You rather want to like in, like a vacuum, into your spine. Keep moving at your own pace. Find your own rhythm. One more on each side. And relax, hug your knees into your chest. Take a moment here. All right, moving on to the next one. Side to side, bring your feet down on the floor. Arms to the sides, palms facing up. And let's just start by rocking the knees slowly, gently from side to side. So you can feel a nice stretch. And keep going. You can let the heels go off the floor. Now, as you move it back to center, I want you to feel initiating. You want to initiate the movement through pulling from your ribs, using the oblique muscles, and your legs are like a heavy weight dragged after you. So you don't want to initiate it through the legs. You lower the legs down, let them be heavy down, and then ribs, hip, and last one are the legs. So the legs almost resisting you in a way. Ribs, hip, and last one are the legs. So this is a gentle way to start working the oblique muscles. And then the progression of this one is holding the legs in tabletop. You guessed it, right. So let's try with tabletop. And again, you can always regress it back to feet on the floor if it doesn't feel good or too much strain into your back or anything. So go ahead, legs in tabletop. Start with a small range of motion. Don't go too far. And pulling it back in. Over to the side. Legs together. Feet, knees in. Again, remember, start with a small range of motion. You want to keep your shoulder blades down on the floor. Okay, so your upper back is staying down on the floor. Don't let the shoulder go up here like this. And same principle, same idea here of the legs wanting to stay over to the sides and working through the center of your body. So after you go over to the side, again, pulling from your ribs, hip, and last one are the legs. Try to keep those knees stacked one on top of the other. Progression of this one, after we go over to the side, both legs straight, and then bring them back in. If this is too much, you can keep the tabletop position, and if this is too much, bring the feet back down on the floor like we did at the beginning. And then lengthen up and falling back in with straight legs. And bend. Let's do one more. And relax, hug your knees. All right, the next one is roll up variation. So we're gonna start by hugging one leg in, bring the knee into your chest. You actually wanna hold the back of your thigh. Now, pull the knee away from you, roll up head, neck, and shoulders. Keep pushing the leg away from you as you continue to roll it all the way up to sitting. Up, up, up. Now use the leg, you can bring it also down to the floor to pull yourself up here, open up the chest, and then exhale slowly as you roll it back down, nice and controlled. Use the leg for support. Keep rolling up and down. Now some of you still, even though using the leg, you still need to push and use momentum. That might happen, and not necessarily because you're weaker core. It could be from your back. Maybe you have some tightness in the back. So for this, we're gonna use a towel. You can place it underneath the lower back, okay? Only if you feel like if you're challenged on the way up. If not, you don't need the towel, just keep going. So the towel is actually supporting that lower back. It helps you to roll up more easily. And you can bring the leg down to the floor, open up the chest, and down, down, down. We're gonna do one more for this leg, and then switch. Use your core here. So even though you're leaning on your leg slightly, hopefully it's just a little bit, you still want to work through the core. Use your abs to roll it up. And roll it back down. Switch your legs. Take a moment here. And as we exhale, go ahead, curl up, head, neck, shoulders. Still using the core, even though we're supported by the leg. Open. Control it on the way down. And again, if you need to use a towel, go ahead and use it. That's okay until you gain that strength. And spine mobility, flexibility to roll it up. Slow, slow, slow with control. One more. Rolling up and down. All right, now we're gonna try to do the full roll up. So arms and legs. And again, if you're a beginner, if you're just starting your Pilates classes and your core not feeling as strong, use a towel. Okay, place it underneath the lower back. We're gonna reach the arms up to the ceiling, curl up, head, neck, and shoulders to roll all the way up and over the legs. Give yourself a nice stretch here, and then slowly as you roll it back down, nice and controlled. Legs reaching out, arms all the way down. Keep going at your own pace. You don't want to jump it up here. If you do that, you probably need to use the towel for support, just for the beginning. Over your legs for a nice stretch, and slowly roll it back down. One more time. Stay sitting. And up here. All right. On our knees and hands. On all fours, you want your shoulders right over the hands and your hips right over the knees. We're going to start, before we start actually, again, make sure your spine is neutral, meaning that you're not tucked under, you're not hyperextending, just find neutral here, reaching forward through the crown of the head, back through the tailbone, and just few deep breaths in and out, just like we did at the beginning. Allow your belly to expand, and then exhale, just draw the belly button in. The belly button wants to meet the spine with no flexion. Nothing is happening in the spine. Go ahead, breathe in, release the tummy. Exhale, draw those abs in. Engaging those deep core muscles. And breathe into your tummy. Now as we exhale and draw the abs in, go ahead and flex the spine. So curl the tailbone under and try to bring your nose to your navel. Nice round spine. And slowly lengthen out. Neutral position. And then progress to an arch. So doing the opposite. Extending, extending out, and go. Breathe out. Draw the abs in. Belly button into your spine. Push the floor away from you using your hands. You can shift your weight backward slightly. Then you gain a little bit more of a stretch in the lower back. If your lower back is tight, that's a nice stretch. And then go ahead and lengthen out and extend. Open, open, open. Shoulders down away from the ears. Let's go. One more. Breathe out. And lengthen. And now just find a neutral position. So we're not continuing to an arch. And from here, extend one leg back and reach the opposite arm forward. And lengthen. Lift off the floor. Now watch what's happening in that standing arm. The tendency is to sink down here. You want to push the floor away from you, shoulder down away from the ear. Lengthening, reaching out, out, out. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down. Other side. Let's go. Go ahead, find your balance. You want the arm more diagonally here from the head, 45 degrees from the head, and your thumb is pointed up to the ceiling. Go ahead and lift. Make sure you're not sinking into the lower back. Close your rib cage, hold your belly in. Nice long spine, reach, reach, reach. And release it down. Let's go back to the first side. Go ahead and lengthen. Hold it here. Now adding on, we're going to bend the arm and the leg in, flex the spine, try to meet your forehead with a knee, and lengthen out. And again, exhale, and inhale as we open. 3 more. And out, keep pushing the floor away from you with that standing arm. And reach. 1 more. Lengthen out, out, out. Hold. And bring it down, other side. Go ahead. Find your balance first, hold it. And when you're ready, flex the spine and lengthen out. And in. And reach out long. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. And hold it. Long spine. Out, out, out. And release it down. Awesome. Let's go down on our belly for some back extension. Now, for this one, I want you to put your hands right next to your chest, and your elbows are like chicken wings here. And we're gonna take a deep breath in. Go ahead and pull your elbows back, down and back to open up the shoulders and the breastbones. So just extending from the thoracic spine, you don't want to go up as high, and release it down. And again, as we inhale, elbows down and back, chest forward and up, and release. Try to tuck the tailbone under slightly so the pubic bone is pressed gently into the ground. So you're not hyperextending at the lower back, but you really want to emphasize the extension from the thoracic area. Go ahead again. Inhale to open. Exhale to lower. Elbows down and back. And now try less and less pressing into the hands and more working through the back muscles. Open. Your neck should stay in line with the spine, so you're not here, you're gazing down to the floor. One more. You want to stay up here, just the chest. Now your arm's going to reach forward, and again diagonally forward like the letter V. You're going to reach one arm slightly off the floor and bring it back down. And then other arm, reach and lower and reach and down, up, and with the opposite leg, reaching out and up and lower. Emphasizing on the length, it's not about lifting high. And now it's one side is going down, the other one on its way up. Switch. Start slow. And then see if you can speed it up a little bit without hitting the floor. Go, 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 go. Breathe in and out. And release it down. Sit back on the heels for the child pose. Take a moment here to stretch the back. And slowly roll yourself up. Roll your shoulders back. And arms, big circles, open. Take a deep breath in, reach your palms together over the head. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye now.